In a world where humanity went mad about mining cryptocurrencies, there is a dramatic shortage of graphic cards in stores. Some say that they even started building mining farms out of capable laptops there in China, further screwing up poor gamers. And who knows what else the future is going to bring us. So greetings everyone. The reason why you've been observing these two arguably outdated and obsolete PCs for the last 37 seconds is because we will try to revive them and launch some modern game titles. The whole goal is to test if you can still build a capable PC for a below $300 budget, or around 300 euros here in Europe, during the crypto rush, and to see what performance one can expect to get. Few words about the PCs. These are Intel 1155 socket-based office PCs from 2011 that have been widely used in both private and public sectors, been fully depreciated over the years, replaced, and now can often be found at a scrap metal price. Yet not many people know that Intel 2nd gen processors did mature quite well and can still show good results even in relatively modern game titles. Add to this low price of compatible DDR3 RAM, cheap SSD, and you can start expecting rather promising potential. Well, the only missing component is the GPU. As of early 2021, the only Nvidia GPUs available in stores at close to recommended retail prices are GT 710, GT 730 and GT 1030. The first two cards, being just about €20 cheaper than GT 1030, should not be considered as a wise choice at all due to the dramatic difference in productivity. So the first thing we are going to do is to test GT 1030 bought on Amazon for €80. In addition to that, we will check GTX 1650, which I did manage to find second-handed at a local marketplace for €150. And now a few more words about the PCs. So we have Lenovo Thinkcentre M91p to the left and Dell Optiplex 790 to the right. Composition-wise, they are pretty much identical. Both are mini towers based on Intel Q65 and Q67 chipsets. Both have 1155 socket supporting Intel 2nd gen processors. Both have 4 slots for DDR3 memory supporting up to 16 gigs in total. In stock, both have pretty weak power supply units. Lenovo has 280 watts and Dell 265 watts. This ThinkCentre has been standing on a shelf for the last 5 years. It has i5 2400 processor with 4 gigs of RAM and 500 GB hard drive. I've added their 240 GB crucial SSD worth €28 on Amazon and 8 more gigs of RAM, bought second-handed on eBay for €25. While searching for a CPU upgrade deals to max up Lenovo on a local marketplace, I found this Dell Optiplex second-handed for just over €70 with i7 2600, 8 gigs of RAM, 2TB hard drive and unexpectedly non-factory standard power supply unit of 400 watts. Neither of these PCs has USB 3.0 ports, but it can be easily fixed with PCI Express to USB 3.0 adapters, as can be seen installed in Optiplex. As a nice bonus, both PCs go with official Windows 7 Pro license keys that are also accepted when you install Windows 10 Pro. When considering to upgrade these PCs, please bear in mind that Lenovo is known for whitelisting allowable components via BIOS. This concerns both CPUs and GPUs. For example, Lenovo's top pick for supported CPU is i7 2600 without K index. With i7 2600K, your PC won't even start. And as for GPUs, GTX 1650 is the latest supported Nvidia card, and for it to work properly you will need to adjust video settings in BIOS. I will leave a link to Lenovo support forum in the description below for more detail. As for Dell, as far as I am aware, there are a lot fewer limitations on supported hardware. On both of these PCs, without changing the default PSU, it is not recommended installing anything significantly more power consuming than GTX 1050 or GTX 1650. Though some people do install GTX 1060, GTX 1660 and GTX 1650 Super with Molex or SATA to 6-pin adapters in Optiplex, but taking into account forbidden prices of these GPUs these days, I was not considering this worth doing. Both Optiplex and ThinkCentre are also available in small form factor versions, and if you decide to pick one of those, you will need to pair it with a low profile graphics card. So I have tested GT 1030 and GTX 1650 with both PCs and can confirm that they run without any issues. To test the best achievable performance, I will do all further benchmarks on Optiplex with i7-2600, SSD and 16 gigs of RAM. So let's see what we get performance-wise. So I'm going to check Doom Eternal, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 4, GTA 5 and all-time classics Starcraft 2. So let's start with Doom. First of all, I'd like to mention that GT 1030 is not compatible with Nvidia Shadowplay. Thus I will record all GT 1030 benchmarks with GoPro. As you can see, with low presets in 720p, Doom is arguably playable, though GPU is obviously bottlenecking the performance. 2 gigs of dedicated video memory are not enough for higher graphics preset as well. In Witcher 3, with 1600 by 900 resolution and low graphics preset, one can achieve around 35 frames per second. So if you are willing to compromise and play in resolutions lower than Full HD, this is arguably playable as well. In Cyberpunk 2077, with resolution of 720p and low graphics preset, I did manage to get an average of 15 FPS. This is not really playable or breathtaking by any means. In Fallout 4, with Full HD resolution and medium graphics preset, I got an average of above 35 frames per second. This is well playable experience. In GTA 5, with Full HD resolution and mixed low graphics settings suggested by the system, I got an average of around 90 frames per second. And finally, in Starcraft 2, with Full HD resolution and ultra graphics settings, I got an average of 80 frames per second.
numbers, boys. Of course. Roger that. Got it.
And now let's benchmark GTX 1650, starting with Doom Eternal. With Full HD resolution and high graphics preset, I got a solid average of around 60 frames per second. In Witcher 3, with Full HD resolution and high graphics preset, I got an average of above 50 frames per second. In Cyberpunk 2077, with Full HD resolution and low graphics preset, I got an average of around 34 frames per second. In Fallout 4, with Full HD resolution and Ultra graphics preset, I got an average of close to 60 frames per second. This is a high playable experience, so you can even think about choosing higher resolutions as well. In GTA 5, with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 and suggested graphics preset, I got an average of close to 60 frames per second.
Hey, remember we gotta be careful with these rides, homie. The Simeon ain't about to dock my pay again.
Homie, man, if you need some bread, I can hook you up with JB's. Armed and ready. Sure. Aye, aye, sir. Armed and ready. Orders received. Why not? Standing. You got it.
To sum up, let's answer the question if one can still get a budget gaming and multimedia PC in early 2021. Well, based on my experience, the answer is definitely yes.